Yo, it's Rico Knows. I'm here to talk to you guys about UFC Fight Night. Adesanya versus Imavov. Remember, this is a fight card in Saudi Arabia, and it's going to be at like 09 in the morning on Saturday. So we got to get all the videos done Thursday, Friday. You MVPs, go out there and get your bets. But the first fight of the night, I always give it away for free. So you guys can watch this video. If you like the breakdown, if you like the way I talk about these fighters, just understand I break down every single fight. And we make every prediction out there. And when we do it, we also give you parlays, and we give you all the best plays. It all gets done on this chart. And you guys see the chart here. I don't have it all filled out for you. You don't get all the picks and everything for free. MVPs know what's up. Get to Patreon, or you can do it on YouTube. Just hit the join button, or get to Patreon and become an MVP on Rico Knows. What I want to tell you guys is so far this year, underdogs have been winning like crazy. It's nuts. I did the math. Underdogs have currently won at a 37% clip. That is not normal. It's not normal. I pick underdogs to win at about a 42% clip. I'm better than what actually occurs when I pick an underdog to win. So I had an MVP write to me and say, Rico, don't sweat it. You're still the best there ever was. You're still doing it right. Remember, our locks have been at 83% for the last year. Our leans are at 66% for the last year. Now, these numbers you see below are all from 2025 only, and we've only got 2 fight cards to show for it. 5-1 on leans is pretty damn solid. So if I tell you it's a lean, that's where we're headed, okay? And for this first particular fight, let me break down the fighters first, and then I'll tell you how I feel about it. The first fight of the night. Oh, by the way, there have been some canceled fights. There were some fights, but if you go to the Tapology Fight Center, you can scroll down and you see they've canceled the fights. There's no more Al Saweedi. We don't have to watch that lame-ass dude. By the way, we faded him last time he was in the ring and we won. And then Ikram's not fighting. I think we faded him as well. Might have happened. Andre Muniz, he has passport issues, bro. Get the red stamps and make sure it's not expired. I don't know what to tell you, but we have Hamdy Abdelwahab against Jamal Pogues. And you see these rankings here. The 67th best ranked heavyweight in the world against the 55th. This is the fight nobody wanted, bro. This is the one nobody's asking for. I promise you. 67 versus 55. I don't know what this is, but this fight feels like Conference USA football on a Tuesday. Nobody's begging for that shit. And we have a young man right here. I say young man, he's 32. He's younger than me. Nickname The Hammer. Hamdy Abdelwahab. Homie's 5-0 with 5 knockouts. And you might think when somebody's 5-0 with 5 knockouts, they're new to the sport. They're just here. Well, that's not the case, guys. Hamdy's been fighting for a long time. Now, before he was in MMA, he was an Olympic level wrestler. I know you hear that sometimes, but this is the truth. And a heavyweight with a hairy back and a hairy chest and Olympic level wrestling is probably pretty good. And he's winning by knockout because he's the Hammer. And he won all these fights. But I need you to be careful because he won all these fights in 2021 and 2022. And you'll notice there's more than 5 fights. The last fight against Dontel Mays, he won the fight. It was a split decision victory. He won the fight, but it's ruled a no contest because he failed the drug test. And he failed another drug test. And the fights he does, you don't even see him on here. There's these game bred fights. Those are, I think those are bare knuckles, bro. Those are bare knuckles. This dude is a man's man, if you will. So he's beaten people. He's beaten UFC fighters before, but he got suspended for 2 years. Dude went out and started his own restaurants, and you could tell he eats very good. He's a healthy man. He's pushing that limit right there, that 265. And I don't know if he's 6'2", bro. That's his dating profile height. Okay? There's Hamdy, though. And Hamdy's fighting Jamal Pogues. Now, part of the reason I don't like to make heavyweight fights a lock is because you can lose in the blink of an eye. Most of the time when I pick a lock, it's a guy who can't possibly lose in an instant. Now, sometimes they do lose, but you guys get what I'm saying. A heavyweight, there's always a chance you can get knocked out. Well, let me tell you, Jamal Pogues knocks no one out. I know he's knocked out 4 people in 15 fights. I know he's knocked out 4 people, but when did it happen, bro? And who the hell were they? Who did he knock out? Casey Joe Sanders? Who's this guy with 3 names at the California Cage Wars? This is who he's knocked out. Tommy Burks, Casey Joe Sanders, and Dante Harrell, and Philip Tobin. Might as well be named Toby. There's the dude he knocked out. A dude who's 0-2, 5'10", 258 pounds, and he's 0-2, and he's been knocked out both times. And as a matter of fact, it took Jamal Pogues 2.5 minutes to do it. This other dude knocked him out in 17 seconds. Nick Klein knocked him out in 17 seconds. This isn't a real fighter. He better not bump into me at Walmart. I'm giving him a piece of my mind. I'm not afraid of him, by the way. I'm bigger than this dude. Probably stronger. And there's Tommy Burks. One fight in his life, he got knocked out by Jamal Pogues. His only fight. Philip Tobin, his only fight, getting knocked out by Jamal Pogues in 2 minutes. And then we got Dante Harrell, a dude 0-3. Dude was subbed and knocked out in every single fight. And if you got subbed by Usman, dude, with a Kimura, you can't roll forward. You can't grab your own shorts. We can't do this, bro. I can't respect these fights. So for me, Jamal Pogues has no knockout power. And I have a very big issue with telling you guys to bet on a heavyweight fighter that has no knockout power. Against a dude, I'm telling you, Hamdy throws hands. Hamdy, you know how you guys always say, oh, Rico, is he throwing pillows for fists? Yeah, bro. Hamdy's throwing a pillow full of quarters. I'm telling you, he's got a pillowcase and he filled it with quarters and he's rolling it up and he's swinging that shit, bro. He's for real. Now, careful. Why is it not a lock, Rico? Well, because you can lose. Because Jamal Pogues can probably stuff a takedown or 3 like he has been. If you remember 2 fights ago at the end of 2023, Mick Parkin, big dude from Europe, England, Parkin couldn't really impose his will on this man, and we had to go the distance. And Parkin was beating everybody. Now, Parkin still won, but it wasn't pretty. That Thomas Peterson fight, another tough, heavy wrestler type of dude, but he stuffed Peterson's takedowns. Now, we're going to talk about Peterson later on this card, but he stuffed Peterson's takedowns. So you need to be careful with how you view Jamal Pogues. He doesn't have knockout power, but he is kind of crafty. He does throw some jabs and he kind of moves and stuff. It's just I have a tough time telling you to put your money on a herbivore. Like, it's not a meat eater, dude. You could bump into Jamal Pogues and he's going to apologize and be like, I'm sorry, I'm in my way. You know, Hamdy's mean, dude. Hamdy's there to scrap. I believe in Hamdy. I'm talking about some things, like I say it very confidently, but be careful. I'm not saying multi-unit bet. I'm not doing any of that. You don't have to go that hard with this. I don't have a parlay for Hamdy. I'm just telling you it's a lean. I like Hamdy to win this fight. And leans are typically coin flips, even odds, and I pick a guy. I've been right 5 out of 6 times. I'm currently batting 83% when I pick a lean, and I'm telling you, Hamdy's winning this fight. Now, how's he winning the fight? I don't know. Be careful. Why do I say be careful? Well, let's be honest. He hasn't fought in 2 years. Every time he fought before, I'm going to assume he was on the juice. Right? You get to the UFC, now they finally test you. Shout out to USADA back then. And so it's just one of those things where, do we really know who he is and what he's about? So, in all seriousness, out of the 2 guys, I'm going to pick Hamdy because he actually throws them things. He's throwing bombs. I like a guy who goes out there. I like a guy. Pause. Don't clip that, but you know what I'm saying. I love a man who shows up and throws hands. And Jamal Pogues just doesn't do that. Jamal Pogues he's gaming the system. He's out there trying to prolong the fight and win by points. And I don't trust judges. And I don't like anybody who treats the fight like it's an athletic competition. I want you to treat the fight like you're trying to take my lunch money. Those are the guys I believe in. The problem is Hamdy's been out for 2 years. suspended. I don't know what his cardio's like. It's his first time back. You can treat it like a UFC debut if you want. I'm going to trust Hamdy's pedigree. I'm going to trust his foundational ability as a martial artist, as a wrestler, and say he can impose his will and he shows up in shape. Now, is that the case? I don't know. If you want to wait, if you want to watch it and wait for the first Hamdy takedown and then live bet it, please, by all means, do you. Now, remember, we watch all the fights on the Discord server. Please get to Patreon, join, become an MVP, watch the fights with me on the Discord server. I will provide play-by-play analysis. I will tell you what's going to happen and how it's happening in the moment. All the MVPs who show up for the fights, they know exactly what I'm talking about. I break it down better than whoever the hell's on the mic. Dominic Cruz, the champ DC. It doesn't matter who you got on the mic. Paul Felder. I'm out here telling you what's really going to happen. Been fighting for 20 years of my life. Been coaching for 10. I'm an all-Army fighter. I'm a hand-to-hand combat instructor. I know what I'm talking about. Know what I'm talking about. I used to be a mixed martial artist instructor for a living. Like, that was my job. Just 2 years now. 2 years ago. And I'm just telling you that when I watch the fights, I see something different. That's why I'm Rico Knows. I like Hamdy, bro. Careful. We don't know what Hamdy we're getting. Watch the weigh-ins. If Hamdy looks good, bro, if you can see a six-pack underneath that hairy chest of his, if you underneath his hairy belly, if you can see a six-pack, I do believe in that man. But if Jamal Pogues shows up in shape, scary, careful. Whoa. Not a lot. Make it a lean. Give me Hamdy beating Jamal Pogues somehow, some way, just being a man amongst boys. I'm going to break down the rest of the fights and all the other videos. MVPs, you know what's up. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. I'll see you guys on the live stream. Peace.